Man, I tell you, the saying goes, work hard, play hard. But I've been living a life of work hard, work harder lately. You know, our startup life is literally no joke. But today, I decided to shake things up a bit. I, Chris, the workaholic. Kim ventured into some uncharted territory. Self-care. Can you believe it? Aromatherapy, my friend. The next frontier. I mean, with all this stress piling up, I had to do something, right? Did a little bit of research, you know, digging here and there, and you won't believe what I picked for my first session. Decided to play it safe and landed on lavender oil. You know, the whole calming properties, supposed to help with anxiety and all. Funny, I immediately started drafting a predictive model in my head, calculating my potential relaxation levels. Just couldn't help it, you know. But oh man, the experience was surprisingly calming. Maybe, just maybe, I should have tried this whole self-care thing way earlier. And speaking of calming things, our chess wars with Rachel and Sam. I still can't stop laughing about that bait and switch move conversation. Those two are really gearing up for a battle. But hey, I'm still the reigning chess master until someone dethrones me. By the way, Rachel tried her hand at some fancy French cooking. Imagine that, coq au vin in her very own kitchen. She even used some Chef Gutenberg's recipe. The woman is seriously raising bars here. Remember when we used to just survive on food truck grub back in Berkeley? God, I miss Sammy's halal. That mysterious white sauce, man. I know what you're thinking. Chris is reminiscing a lot these days, right? Damn, maybe the lavender oil is really working. The aroma is still lingering in my room, inducing these nostalgic thoughts. And can you believe Rachel remembered our Philosophy 101 classes? Of course, she had to bring up my Big Lebowski theory. The theory that managed to make the whole class burst into laughter. You know, I never thought Dr. Johnson would let that one pass. But then again, good times. Good times. I can't wait for our next catch-up session. If the stars align, maybe we could try out Rachel's Michelin star menu, yeah? So, remember how we were discussing underground city explorations last time? Guess what I stumbled upon yesterday? Ventured into an uncharted city spot and ended up in this super cool underground music venue, The Hideaway. Sparkling lights, killer music, and a crowd that just felt right, you know? A complete shift from my usual techie universe, but the change of scene was insanely refreshing. And I made a new friend there, Andy. You might like him. Quite the music nerd. And you should hear Rachel and Sam's reaction when I told them about it. They absolutely loved it. Rachel's already planning a visit for her next trip here, and Sam's convinced it's his kind of place. Guess we have a new hangout, huh? By the way, thought I'd share a laugh with you. You remember Sam and his outlandish conspiracy theories, right? Well, his latest one is that birds are not real, but surveillance drones. Always good for a chuckle, that guy. And speaking of chuckles, Rach happened to come upon this blog called Cake Rex. Oh man, some of the cake designs there are hilariously bad. My favourite was the Under the Sea one. Picture this, a wave made out of cream that looked more like a tsunami about to wipe out a poor fondant fish. Absolutely comical. Shifting gears, I have a startup pitch tomorrow. Big stuff for Neural Nest. You know, the usual mix of excitement and anxiety. Anyhow, back to Mandalorian. I swear Sam and Rach are doing their level best to spoil this season for me. Have been asking them to hold back their Season 5 theories. I'm still stuck on Season 2. Speaking of Rachel, she recommended a restaurant, Le Comptoir du Relais, while she's carousing in Paris. Makes our old food truck grub look like elementary school lunch, doesn't it? I remember you loved Sammy's halal as much as I did. But for now, that Parisian foodie adventure is going on my bucket list, my friend. Okay. Man, I got to tell you, this whole tech deal is great most days, but sometimes you just need to look up from the code and see what's out there in the universe, you get me? I mean literally the universe. Guess who turned into an amateur astronomer this week? Yup, yours truly. So, I was just messing around on the internet, and I bumped into this beginner's guide to astronomy thing. And you know how we always had those discussions about space colonies and stuff. Gotta admit that had me hooked. So I decided to set up a telescope right here in my apartment. And man, what a sight. After a few mistakes and corrections, I finally got to see the Orion Nebula. It's kind of humbling, you know? Makes our daily startup grind seem so small on the cosmic scale. And guess who I got acquainted with during this space quest? Alex, this geeky dude around our age. He's into all this tech stuff, just about started his own podcast channel. It's like tech talks mixed with deeper life reflections, you know how it goes. Kind of interesting. Maybe I'll send you a link sometime. Rachel and Sam had a field day when they heard about it. Yeah, same old Sam. He's convinced that looking at stars beats learning salsa any day. And Rachel, she's plotting out character shifts. Can you imagine? Chef Chris, dancer Rach, and astronomer Sam. Speaking of character shifts, did I ever tell you Chef Rach cooked coq au vin? I mean, seriously, she is just spicing things up in the kitchen out there in Paris. Can you imagine? From our food truck grub to this, what a leap. Oh, and speaking of food, she dropped some weird wisdom today. Never eat yellow snow. I mean, it's bizarre, but it's so Rachel-like, isn't it? I joked that it could be lemon-flavoured. Well, shifting gears from all this stargazing and food talk, I gotta get back to some preparations. Got a pitch coming up for Neural Nest. You know how it goes. Equal parts dread and thrill. But before that, some catch-up with Mandalorian. I'm just managing to dodge the bullets of spoilers Rach and Sam are constantly throwing my way. Trying my best to savor Season 2 while they're already brewing theories for Season 5. Anyway, I should get back to work now, my friend. Catch you later.